Well, all right, here we are once again. It's Pastor B's kitchen table. You know who I am, and you know this must be Friday because we're back at the kitchen table. Now, in the past weeks, I've been doing some things related to economics and our finances and things like that. But today, I want to go down a different path. I want to open up a little bit and deal with something that's very near and dear to my heart. I want to let you go behind the pastoral curtain, and I want to deal with an issue related to my family. You guys know that we're in the midst of a pandemic. It is not over, and if you're a Texan, you know that the variant has surged because there's a whole lot of political pundits out there who politicize this. But you know as well as I know that the COVID virus it has no party affiliation. It doesn't care about your gender, doesn't care about your race, doesn't care about your socioeconomic status. It just cares about getting a body to invest in. And so I want to just talk for a moment about what you see online right now is my son, my second son, Zachary James. And so I got Zachary online because Zachary wants to tell a story about his own personal interaction with COVID. And I pray this would be an encouragement to your heart and your family as you hear it. Zach, say hello to the kitchen table, please.
What's up, kitchen table? It's good to be on Pastor B's kitchen table. I'm Zach once again. I'd love to be Pastor Hamilton's second born, tallest son.
Yes, you are. The taller, you certainly are that. Man, Zach, man, so good to have you on here, brother. First, Zach, just tell us a little bit about what you've been into, man. I mean, you've been doing some big baller kind of stuff. What have you been into with your business?
Absolutely. So basically, for the past 8 months, I've been investing into foreign exchange and cryptocurrency. I've teamed up with my best friend. He's an eight-figure earner, Mr. Bryce Thompson. He was on Pastor B's kitchen table a few months ago. And what I've done is I've created an investment group called Flow State that helps people profit from cryptocurrency on a daily basis and helps them become the best versions of themselves. So I've been doing it for about 8 months. My organization has grown from 3 to now over 400 members. It's allowed me and it's blessed me to out earn my engineering income. I was able to quit my engineering job through faith about 8 weeks ago. And this is something I'm pursuing, not only to become financially independent, but to create success for others as well.
Okay. Thank you, Zach. And I had you to share that because in your business venture has kind of led you to this crossroad, this collision, if you will, with COVID. Zachary, can you tell us your story a little bit about you and COVID?
Well, COVID, I feel like it affects all people. It doesn't just affect young people or older people. If you look at it from the job force, right? When I had a job, I remember there were people who were contracting COVID. They were following all the guidelines. They had a mask on, or they were looking forward to getting their vaccination at some point soon. But it affects everyone differently. The biggest thing you can do is practice healthy habits and just watch your environments. You never know what the person that you love may have COVID, or a person that's a stranger may have COVID as well. But from my experience, probably about 5 weeks ago, I contracted COVID. Most likely it was the Delta variant. Came on very strong. All the symptoms related to Delta I was having. I went 3 days without eating. It was weak. It was a very lonely place. I was really just trying to figure out whether I'd be able to speak fluidly again or get my strength back. After 2 to 3 weeks, I was able to get it back. I'm still recovering at this moment. I feel about 80%, but COVID is no joke. I do understand the times that we're in. I understand that we do have people that are unvaccinated, and we do have people that say they do not trust the system. As far as I'm concerned, I've received so much advice and recommendations from health professionals, doctors, physicians. The vaccine works, right? The vaccine allows people to still get COVID, but they won't experience the symptoms. And it's just so hard on the body just to keep fighting COVID over and over again. I know for us to get rid of this disease or this vaccine, whatever that we're in, this pandemic, I know we have to come together and we have to do things one way. So I'm looking forward to getting the vaccine just for my family's health. Everyone in my family has it except for me. And when you're that person outside the family that doesn't have the vaccine and everybody else feels great and you're the one that gets it, you tend to have a second opinion. But it's been a very rough experience with COVID. I do not recommend anybody else go through that.
So I could take us back a little bit because your business required that you travel. You were in Vegas, you were in Mexico, you were in California, you were in Florida, you were everywhere. Uh, So tell us a little bit about your travel, but not only about your travel, Zach, but tell us also about the mentality of the people you were around as it relates to COVID and vaccination.
So yes, my investment group, Flow State, has allowed me to travel to various parts of the country. I've been to Florida multiple times, been to Atlanta a lot, been to Mexico, been outside the country, been to California. I've been to a lot of different places, Phoenix, Las Vegas. It's been a blessing just to travel and just kind of just get out, and just kind of experience the world. But the times that we're in right now, it's kind of contradictory. I know it's hard relating to this business and COVID, but the beauty in this business is that it allows us to help people make money from their phones and from their devices. So we necessarily don't have to meet up in person. We don't have to do meetups in person or at venues. It's just the fact that we want to do them, because people join people don't join companies. You want to show face, you want to build relationships. It's hard to build and cultivate relationships amidst through a Zoom call or through a webinar or through a phone call. So that's why the in-persons it's a hit or miss. You want to practice safe practice. You want to have your mask on. That's the best advice. But as far as traveling, I know here, just given in August, just seeing the surge of cases, it seems like traveling is going to come to a halt at some point. But traveling does put you at risk, no matter where you travel. That's why it's important that you practice safe habits, getting the vaccine prescribed from your doctor, and just make sure you're in good health.
Zachary, now you are 25, and you were traveling around some other young adults, and I think that's why it's so important to talk to you, Zach, is that you're healthy. You were healthy. I mean, you were fitness. You had personal trainers, and so you were the model of just youthfulness. Mm-hmm. Yet you contracted COVID, and so the people who were around you, those 23, 24, 25-year age, what was their mentality as it relates to COVID and the vaccine?
I'll say this: our Generation Z, we're a special group. I feel like we're very innovative. We have no problem taking risks. We're fearless. But when it comes to this situation, I can honestly say probably everyone in the world has come into contact with COVID of some form, whether it's been next to them or whether it's been from a tangible factor or it's been in their household.
Okay, like we got a little freeze going on here. Okay, keep talking, keep talking. Zach, are you still there, my son?
Fear not just young. Have they ever been sick? And I can understand if young people have not been sick before, so they won't get the vaccine. I was just like that. But it's all until it hits your house, you start getting a second opinion. So
yeah. I see what you're saying. Yeah. So it's a feeling of invincibility, and it's not going to hit you. And if it does hit you, you're going to be able to fight it off because you're young and you're strong and you're healthy. Zachary, can you share a little bit with the audience about how did COVID impact you? You talked about weakness. You talked about appetite. Exactly, what did it feel like for you?
Well, a normal day without COVID for me is I was really dreading that feeling. Normal day for me, get up, do my devotion, get up, hit the gym, get something to eat, go visit a few people here and there, and just maybe get on a Zoom call for a training and just enjoy the rest of my day. But it wasn't like that when I had COVID. When I had COVID, it was more so weakness. I felt very lethargic, shortness of breath for sure. As far as just communication wise, not even having the strength to communicate effectively, that bothered me dramatically because my job is, this is how I communicate. I build relationships. I help people trade. I trade crypto. But it was just frustrating because I didn't have the strength. I didn't have the energy. I was getting chills. I couldn't taste, couldn't smell. Food tastes like Play-Doh. It was just very frustrating, and it's just wondering those times of like, will I ever get through this? And when I do, what will it take for me to recover?
Yeah. Were you afraid, Zach?
I wasn't afraid. I was more so prepared. I was like, if this does get worse, I know I'm going to get through it. I just know for some people, they may not have the lifestyle that I have, right? So I'm a former college athlete. It's like, what about the people that aren't former college athletes? What about the people who have hereditary diseases or may have underlying diseases as well, or underlying health issues? So you just got to put things into perspective. Just saying like, just because you're healthy or just because you're a pescatarian, vegetarian, or you have a certain type of lifestyle, that is not a guarantee that you're undefeated against anything that may come your way. So that's why we got to be on guard. We got to be ready.
Mm-hmm. So Zachary, how does having COVID and now still trying to recover from COVID, how has it shaped how you view life?
Read the Bible more for sure. Read the Bible more for sure. If you ever get COVID, you'll read the Bible. You have a lot of time to read the Bible. But just kind of just how I view everything. I view everything that like nothing is in man's control. Nothing's in the doctor's control. It's all belongs to God. Everything that we're going through right now in this pandemic, this past year and a half, everything belongs to God. So it's like God intentionally to have this happen for everyone. It wasn't by mistake. So we have to understand in terms of looking at it from our perspective, try to look at it from his perspective. And that kind of gives me peace, just understanding like this isn't on accident. It's like, what is God trying to show me at this moment? Even though it may suck, or maybe though I may not feel 100%, what is this trying to teach me and what is this trying to show other people? Once you figure out that, it's like you tend to have a different perspective and point of view on your situation.
Mm-hmm. Now, Zach, there are people watching this and they're around your age group or they're surrounded by people who are in your age group. And they're saying, man, all this COVID stuff is a hoax. It's just like the flu, is no big deal. I'm not getting vaccinated. I'm not going to go in there because you don't know what's in that. What do you say to that person?
This is what I say, right? For anyone that has aspirations to travel, right, or to travel outside of the country. I know for me, once I get my vaccine, I'm going outside of the country to figure out what's next. But just be smart, right? Just be smart. We've seen the statistics. We've seen from the CDC and CNN over and over again. Most of doctors or physicians or nurses are vaccinated, right? And the reason why people are passing away is because their inability to fight off the infection or their inability to defeat COVID, right? It's like they could have underlying issues, or they could just be a healthy individual and just caught a bad case or a bad strand of it. It's just important for us that we actually invest in the vaccine, because people aren't dying from the vaccine, right? People are dying from the actual COVID disease. So it's like just being smart. You don't have to be Superman to keep fighting it over and over again. It's the fact that we have a country that provides the vaccine. I understand what many may say of, is it government regulated or is this? You want to be part of that majority. You do not want to be part of the people who do not have it. So you just want to defeat it while you can.
And if I could jump in there and just speak from a parent for a minute, since this is a personal podcast this time, for the parents that are watching, this is my son. And as he said, he was the only one in the family that did not get vaccinated. And Zachary would not get vaccinated. And so you have a child or a grandchild or someone in your family who just won't get vaccinated. Don't fuss at them. Zach had to learn for himself and to decide for himself. Zach's 25, Zach's a grown man now. And also I want to encourage you, share the information, share the data, but also if they do contract COVID, don't go down that road of I told you so. Because that's the easiest temptation to do. When we found out that Zach had COVID, it hurt my heart because I feel like it didn't have to be that way. But I never once told him I told you so. Because at that point in time, they don't need your condemnation. They need grace. Because he's fighting, he's battling his body, his health has changed. And I personally have 2 friends that died from COVID. I mean, they were on ventilators and all that. So I knew what could happen. So it wasn't a time for me to kind of berate my son. And so you have a son or a daughter, someone who just will not get vaccinated. It's not the time for you just to share the information. Pray that God will be able to allow them to come to the realization about him, but also about just the profitability of getting the vaccination. And so I want to encourage the parents out there, because I know what it is like. It really shook our family to find out that Zachary, of all people, because he's the engineer. He's the one who deals with facts. He doesn't deal with just the emotions of anything. He deals with the facts of everything. And yet in this occasion, Zach dealt from a different perspective, but he's now advocating and telling you. So I want you to hear a true COVID story. We hear about over 600,000 people that have died from COVID. We hear about what's happening on the East Coast and the West Coast, but I'm talking about what happened in my house. And that's totally different when it hits your house. And it hits some of your homes also. So I want you to hear from him as to what he's going through and trying to complete the recovery. Say he's 80% now. We say he's not 100% yet. So he's still battling back. And he's waiting for the opportunity. So Zachary, how long did they tell you had to wait before you were able to get your vaccination?
My physician recommended 30 to 60 days before vaccination. I wish I could just defeat it, and just move on with the vaccine, but the immune system is compromised. So I'm going to follow what they recommended. I know some people have had different types of side effects when getting the vaccine. It's one thing to defeat it. It's another one to experience temporary side effects when getting it. But I've talked to multiple doctors, physicians, and just to get their take on it. You can't control the vaccine. I mean, you can't control the COVID, but you can't control the vaccine. So the vaccine, if it protects us from the symptoms, let's be smart. Let's get vaccinated so we can get through this time and get back to maybe a new normal.
Amen. 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 If you're out here in the Sugar Land, Houston, greater Houston area, I want to remind you that on Sunday, that is August the 8th at this church, French Community Bible Church, we're going to have the vaccination van from 1 to 3 p.m. It's going to be out front because we want people to get vaccinated. Is that this, so as you've heard, it's impacting our community as we're relying on some of these pundits, political pundits who have gotten vaccinated, by the way, and yet our people, our demographics are lagging behind because we're arguing and we're debating it. And yet we're dying from it. So we're going to have a van out here because part of doing the ministry is to care about the total person, not just your spirit, but your body, your mind, every component of you. So from 1 to 3 p.m. on August 8th, this Sunday, you don't have to be a member of this church. There's no cost for it. It's free. You don't even have to sign up. All you got to do is show up. And so on Sunday, from 1 to 3 p.m., we want you to get vaccinated. You or your family member, your cousins, there's someone watching right now. And I want you to hear this COVID story from Zachary himself. Zachary, you get the last word. What will be your encouraging word to those who are now at the point of saying, I think I'm going to do it? What would you say to that person?
To the people who say they think they're going to do it, don't just do it just because it's out of fear, but do it through faith. Do it through faith. Get your support group around you, maybe a spouse, maybe a friend, or maybe a family member. But just do it through faith. Pray on it. Ask God to reveal whether it's for you or for not, and just go forward with it and live your life. It's just this is the times that we're in. A year ago we were more so skeptical about the proven facts and what CDC said, Dr. Fauci. We were all over that a year ago, but it's a year later and we're still here and we're still in this situation. So it's like do it through faith. Don't do it through fear. Just because you haven't contracted it or you've had a bad experience with it, that should not be the reason why you do it. Just do it through faith. Understand that we have a more of a bigger goal in mind. This is not the end. This is part of it.
Amen. Amen, Zach.
So.
Amen. Amen. Well, kitchen table, there you've heard it, a COVID story. So I want you to share this with your family, your friends, your uncle, your loved one. Look at it again. This isn't something that I contrived. I didn't give him a talking track. I just wanted to interview my son because this hit my house. This is my son, and I'm glad to see where he is because I know where he's been. So this isn't just something that's ethereal, that's out there. It's something up close and personal. And I want you to prosper. As Zachary said, to do it by faith. There's a whole lot more life to do. There's a whole lot more living to do. There's a whole lot of more ministry to do. But you can't do it. You can't do it if you're weighed down with COVID. So may God bless you. May God keep you. And I look forward to seeing you next week right here again at the kitchen table. Bless you, and I'll see you soon.